guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarah, and if you like plant related content, you are in the right place. You might have noticed I am not in my normal setup. I am here actually with my friend Cori in her house. Say hi, Cori.
Hello, Cori. Hi.
So she actually asked me for some help with taking care of some of her house plants. She's got a few different things kind of strewn around the house, and we're going to look at those, maybe diagnose any problems with those, get them repotted for sure. So Cori is an awesome person. Love her to death. Cori, is there a place people can check you out or check out some of your artwork?
Yeah. Wow. Thanks. Yeah. I love to paint. So if you want to check out the Earth Muffin, yeah.
And I will make sure I link to her
Great, yeah.
Instagram down below. So without further ado, let's start to take a little plant tour, see what she's got around, and then we'll get into diagnosing and repotting some of these things.
Awesome.
All right, so here we are in Corys house. You can see she's got a fair amount of light, maybe not a high light situation, but kind of a lower light situation. Got lots of beautiful vining plants hanging around. So what a wonderful place to visit. We're gonna start here kind of with this window here. We have a little actually unknown plant. I think it might be a variety of a spider plant. Not sure. We're going to take a look at that. Most plants, we can at least check out the soil, see what's going on. So if you happen to know what this plant is, go ahead and check. Let us know down in the comments below. So she has this beautiful, hopefully you can see it, there it goes. Beautiful satin pothos trailing up and down. And actually you get to the pot. Right, a couple of yellow leaves, which we can take care of, but you get to the pot and it's actually just trailing and vining. It's this beautiful trailing vining plant, but actually not very full here. So we're going to take some cuttings from these beautiful vines and give her a little bit fuller plant. All right, over here we have this lovely heartleaf philodendron. Again, beautiful vining. All of her plants just vine like crazy. I'm actually really jealous of how much her plants are vining. And you can see beautiful, beautiful leaves. Seems like it's in really great condition. We'll just take care of a couple of these little yellowing leaves and maybe check out what's going on up here in the pot. And then down here we have a spider plant. Again, doing really well, in great condition. We're gonna check this out. Probably looks like it needs some fresh soil here. And we'll clean some of that up and get this looking beautiful and healthy again. All right, and up here in this corner we have the most gorgeous, long, golden pothos you have ever seen in your life. And I love the way they have it trailing all through their living room. It's just gorgeous. But as you can see, it looks a little sad up here at the pot. And then it's got these big trailing leaves. And I'm betting it probably needs a good feeding because it's so massive. So we'll take a look and see if we can clean that up and get it maybe a little bit more where Cori would like it. And here in this window, we have another heartleaf philodendron, one of my favorite plants. So beautiful. And again, beautiful trailing. We'll take a look at some of these leaves, see what's going on here, if there's anything we can diagnose up here in the pot. And below that, we have a Dracaena. Looks like it's got a little bit of issue here on the leaves. We'll take a look and see what's going on. It might just be a little bit of some neglect, but we'll check out and look in the pot and see if we can figure out what's going on there. And down here, a basil that's just doing fantastic. We're gonna let that alone. A little poinsettia, again, not sure if it's gonna need any care, but we'll check it out. We'll give it a little once over for pests, maybe give it a little bit of food. It sounds like Cori probably hasn't fed her plants in a while, so we'll teach her how to feed her plants. And this lovely wandering Jew that is reaching for the light here, we'll just take maybe some little trimmings from that, clean up some of these leaves, if you can see those, clean up a couple of these, and it does look like it might need a pretty serious repotting, so we'll get in there and clean all of that up. And then here in their kitchen, they've got lots of beautiful light, so they've got a few snake plants. Hopefully we can pot a couple of those up and maybe make a nice little arrangement. Down here, a goldfish plant that looks like it's doing actually pretty well. Maybe we'll just take a look in the pot, see what's going on. It might need a little food, and we can also trim it up and fill in some of that pot there. And then we have a Hoya Bella. Wonder where she got this from. So we'll take a look at that, maybe put it in a little bit more of an actual decorative pot. And we'll take a look at this orchid. Seems a little bit dehydrated. Looks like it's actually in a little bit of a chunky mix. So we'll take a look at that and maybe put it in a little better mix and get it rehydrated. Take a look at the roots and see what's going on there. And then up here, I think this is a Calico. We'll double check on that and get this potted up. It looks like it's been sitting in this cup for a while. So we'll get this in a beautiful pot, clean up some of these leaves and get it looking brand new, sparkling, beautiful. And then finally here in this corner, getting probably the best light in their whole house, we have a Singhania. And we'll take a look at those leaves. It looks like it's starting to trail here a little bit, which Singhoniums actually are a trailing plant, but usually we trail them back. We kind of keep them as more of an upright plant. And then in that same pot is a golden pothos. And so we'll take a look at those, maybe trim some of this end off and actually repot it back up in here. All right, so I told Cori to go get some of my very favorite potting soil. The black gold, I find that it is really great for the houseplants, tends to have a fewer pests in it. Any of your potting soils might have some pests in it, but this one has a little bit less. And then I brought some of my orchid mix. I wasn't sure if they had any orchids, and so luckily I have that available. And then I also like to mix that in for a little chunkier mix. Some Miracle-Gro perlite. I brought a couple of shears so we can cut, snip, clean up, and propagate. I brought a little bit of hydrogen peroxide, one of my favorite tools for fixing anything that's wrong with the plants. A little bit of neem oil in case I come across any dirty pests. Some plant food and some of my absolute favorite, Super Thrive. I'll make sure I link to all of these down in the description box below so you can check out what I'm using. Okay, so we've mixed up a little bit of potting mix. We're going to start with some of these smaller plants over here. So basically I take that black gold potting mix, which already is a really, really great mix. I add a little bit of the orchid bark and a little bit of perlite, kind of depending on what kind of soil conditions these plants like. And this one here is definitely a succulent, so it's going to like a much more airy mix, a little bit more chunky mix. So we'll go ahead and I'll have Cori do this. All right, there she is. So add a little bit, maybe fill it up about a third of the way. Good, yep. And then take the plant out. Let's take a look at it. This thing needed to be potted up a while ago. Okay, so we're going to pick some of these dead leaves out of there, get some of the
with these
organic material. Yes. So break up the roots a little bit without necessarily like breaking them apart. Just try to untangle them a little bit. They also, once they hit that soil, will start to adjust and grow. Okay. So finding a little spot, arrange it the way you would like. So make sure it's nice down in there, and then we'll just pour a little bit of soil around. You know, if you don't like soil in your house, then, you know, do it out in the garage or something. It's a messy process. All right, so go ahead and pick up the pot. Give it a little tap on the table. Good. So just getting some of the air bubbles out. You can also press down with your fingers. Just make sure that you are not pressing the soil into compactness. You just want it to be nice and solid. And then we'll go ahead and take a little bit more of the potting mix, top it off to the best that you would like it.
Old-fashioned way.
Nice. Okay. And then we will take the pruning shears and just go through looking for any leaves that might have a little sign of damage on them, or some of these yellowing leaves. We'll just clean it up so it looks beautiful and ready to go. All right, so that's pretty much our completed plant. Pressing down a little bit around the soil, took off some of those dead leaves, and you can see looks like it'll be nice and happy here. So we'll go ahead and give it a water. I might add a little bit of Super Thrive. Doesn't necessarily need any food because it is in fresh potting mix and there will be plenty of organic material in there for the plant to feed off of. But we'll add a little Super Thrive so it can adjust from being in water to being in the soil. Check out this root bound plant. Guys, This is how you know your plants need to be taken care of. That's quite a bit of repotting needs there. Okay, so all I'm doing here is I took all the soil off of the roots, and I'm very, very gently going to go ahead and pull on some of these roots. Not enough that it would actually break them, but just enough that will get out. Like, see, this little bit was already a dead amount of roots, so they just came out super easy. I didn't have to pull on them, so it doesn't take a whole lot of pressure. That's good. All right, so we're just trimming up some of the vines here. We actually did discover that this plant is some heart-shaped philodendron, as well as some philodendron Brazil in there, some of this beautiful variegation. So since this was on such a long piece with no leaves to it, we're going to go ahead and stick this one in a pot, start some fresh roots on it, and we could actually stick it in here and refill the pot if we need to. So I'm just going through each of these vines looking for pieces that are dead, again, pieces that are really long and have no leaves. Just for the aesthetics of it, we're going to trim some of those up. We'll leave some of them long so we can rewrap them kind of up above the ceiling as well. Okay, so here's our progress so far. I've got another appointment that I need to go to, but I think we've made some really, really good progress here. Just kind of cleaned this plant up, went ahead and repotted it in some fresh potting medium, trimmed off some of the really long ends, got rid of some of the yellowed leaves, and then this will be rewrapped along the Christmas lights. And then with the silver pothos, this one we're going to kind of leave where it's at as well. Doesn't seem to be doing too poorly. We cut a little bit off, and then I trimmed the ends and just stuck those propagations straight in the soil. And they'll keep that moist for a week or two, and then hopefully these will put on some roots and actually fill out with a nice big bushy new plant. Some of the ones that really we made a lot of progress on, look at this cute little spider plant we potted up. So that one will be really, really happy. And then here's our wandering dude. All right, all potted. This one was so root bound it wouldn't even come out of the pot. So this one I think will be a whole lot happier in this fresh spot. This philodendron over here, we gave quite the haircut. It's pretty naked now, but you can see all the vines that are left actually have quite a bit of growth on them. And again, we're going to leave this one where it's at just for the moment, but it's doing really, really well. Some of the plants we made a little more progress on. We have here the snake plant. Right, got that all potted up, and you can actually see, if you kind of look in there, we've got some new little babies coming in the snake plant. So she's pretty happy. She's excited to be in her new pot. And you can see we kind of cleaned up the propagation station here. Right, we have the Hoya Bella and some of the little propagations. We got the Calico all potted up. This one, I think you saw me kind of digging into the roots on these a little bit, the Singhania and also the Pothos. It was so root bound, you guys. We chopped some of the roots because it was just going round and round, and this is going to be so much happier now. So a little bit about watering when we kind of get these all potted up. We'll add just a couple of squirts here of the indoor plant food and a couple drops of Super Thrive, which will help with kind of the repotting stress. And then that will be for any of the plants that we did not repot. Anything that we did repot, there's plenty of food and fertilizer in that new fresh soil. So probably just a little tiny bit of the Super Thrive. Not a lot when we give them that first initial water, and that will help a lot. We actually haven't had to use any of the neem oil today. I haven't come across any pests. So good job, Cori, taking good care of your plants. No pests that I've seen. So that one hasn't been used yet, but definitely it needs a lot of feeding and a lot of repotting. Okay guys, so that does it for today's video. I'm sorry we didn't get a ton of footage. If we'd filmed everything, we were here for what, like 2 hours? Working on it.
It would be long.
It'd be a really long video. So I just tried to catch clips of things that were of interest. If there's something that you spotted that you would like to see a little bit more of, a little more in depth, or why I made a choice I did, please let me know down in the comments below, and I'd be happy to do a dedicated video either on repotting rootbound plants or feeding plants or any of that kind of stuff. So if you are not subscribed already, please hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and ring that little bell. I post every Saturday or Sunday, kind of depending on what my schedule allows. So hit that notification bell to know when I post. And thank you so much, you guys, for watching. Thank you, Cori, for letting me come over to your house.
Thanks for helping. My plants are happy. So
good.
That's good.
We'll do a little check-in. Maybe I'll put it on Instagram or something. We'll check in with your plants in a couple of weeks and see how they're doing. So thank you again so much, guys, and I will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.